Hello everyone and welcome to Lavender Blue. I'm Fiona. I hope you enjoy this video, and if you do, please hit the like button and leave a comment, as this helps my channel and I love to chat with you all. I would also love it if you would subscribe so you don't miss any of my videos. You can also find me on other social media platforms and I would love to connect with you there. My link is always in the description box below. Now, let's get creative. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I've been making some beads with terracotta clay. It's just an air dry clay, the same as the white one that you get, only it's the terracotta. And I thought I'd come on quickly because I'm going to paint them. And so I thought that I would give you a few tips on painting on terracotta clay. So you will need your little terracotta beads. Now these, unfortunately, I'd already made them and I wasn't sure how they were going to turn out, so I haven't filmed my process of making these ones, but when I make some more I will show you how I made my little beads, and I'll probably make some different ones as well. So today I'm just painting on the clay. And then after I've painted, I will be using epoxy resin to make them nice and shiny, and then I drill my holes with a Dremel. We can't do that in this video because well, we can put the epoxy on, but it takes 24 to 48 hours to dry, so I can show you them after I have put the epoxy resin, after it's dried. So now, first thing that I do when I'm painting on terracotta is I like to paint them in all black first of all. You don't have to do this. This is just to get the effect that I want. So I paint them in black first with acrylic paint, and then I come in with whatever colours I want to use. Now what I've got here is I've got fabric paint, but that's just because they had the beautiful colours, so I decided I wanted to use fabric paints this time, but you can just use ordinary acrylic paints. Fabric paints work just the same, except obviously you can use them on fabric as well. So I am going to, I've got my little palette here, and I think what is in there is probably dried up because it's been in there for quite a long time, a couple of weeks I think. So I'll just check that. Yeah, that's dry. So I'm just going to pour in a little bit of black. This is actually Payne's grey, but that's close enough to black for me. And so you want to use a little bit of water. And I've just got a, what do you call this? One of those cheap brushes. It's a fairly stiff bristled brush. It's a bristle brush, just so that I can get into all the little cracks. So a bit of water to make it run nice and smoothly. And I'm just going to paint them all. Now I'll paint the top and the sides first, and then I will need to wait for that to dry before I can paint the underside. And acrylic paint dries reasonably quickly, so it doesn't take too long. And make sure you get into all the little cracks. I'm just pouncing with my brush to make sure I've got it all covered. Painting them black first just makes a really interesting effect when they're done, because you can see the black paint through the colours that you're putting on that's sitting inside the crevices. So I'm just going to continue to paint all my little beads, and I'll speed this part up. Okay, so now I have dried my beads and I have my colours that I want to use, and you don't need very much paint. I've probably got too much paint there, but you don't need a lot of paint because you need a lot of water. So I'm just going to get my brush and make my paint as watery as I can. And I've got a teeny tiny brush here. It's probably a number, hang on, what is it? It could be a 0. Yes, it's a 0. So a lot of water, because we want to get our paint just on the pattern on the top, not in the little crevices. So I'm going to do this little dot in the middle first with the yellow. So all I need is just, and I don't want any water dripping, just a dot like that in the center. And because it's nice and fluid and watery, it also kind of domes up for you. That one's a bit too watery, see? I just got some in there, so we'll wipe that off. It's a bit of a trial and error here. So you don't want it so watery that it runs down into the crevices, but you want it fluid enough that it just sits nicely on the top. There we go. Now my leaves, I'm not 100% sure what colour I want to do these. I think I might make them a two-tone colour, so I'll have maybe a yellow on one side and maybe a green on the other. Or this turquoise-ish colour. Or I could alternate between the fronds, the prongs, if I wanted to. So I'm just going on the top here. If you can see. So you want a fairly fluid paint, but as we saw, not too fluid. So I'm going to do that. And acrylic paint is good because it's opaque. You do need good eyes for this as well. My eyes aren't the best, but do have to wear my glasses. So I'm going to do my leaves like this, and then I'll add a different colour. We've got another one of these. This paint is already actually quite fluid, so don't need too much water. Now this one's a little bit, I know it's a little bit off center because I did have a little crack in there too, but once you've done all your painting, you won't notice that, particularly if you're using resin on the top. It'll just level everything out. So that's not too much of a problem. And I'm looking, I need a little bit more paint. It's just not quite thick enough. So you may, 2 coats is probably better than 1 when you're doing this. Because you've got the black background. It'll be a lot more vibrant if you do 2 coats. So let's do the other leaves. I wonder if I should do them different colours. Actually, I think I'll just do them all the same today. Maybe. Let's put some more yellow on. And I'm alternating. You can see why you need a tiny brush for this. And that will need another coat. Okay, let's do a different colour on this one. I'm going to add some purple. So, yeah, I did say you'll need lots of water. But obviously if your paint's fairly fluid like this one, you don't need so much. But if you've got a fairly thick acrylic paint, you will need more water. So this is just the first coat. And if you wanted to, you could do this just on the raw terracotta. I just like the black. So I can go back to my yellow one and put another coat. And of course you could do this on your white clay, paint it black. But I wanted to try out the terracotta clay to see what it was like to work with, and it is pretty much the same as the white clay, but it's softer. I found it a bit softer. And it seems to dry fairly fast, which is good. I don't really want to see any of that black, so I'm just going to keep going over it until I can't see the black. I think these middles, just one more little dot. Let's do a bit more purple. Oops, don't need that. And you can see I did go over here, but that's okay because I'll paint over it with the other colour. This one's not quite dry. I can still go over it at this point. Sorry about the banging in the background if you can hear anything, because I think there's some building going on across the road. There we go. And I can see these here need a little bit more yellow. I'm probably being a bit too fussy, but never mind. I just want to make sure that the black is covered. And of course, the thicker your paint, sorry, the more, not thicker, the more opaque your paint is, the easier it will cover. Yellow is always even with acrylic paints, yellow is always a little bit more translucent than other colours. It's for some reason it's never quite as opaque. Okay, so let's have a look at the round ones and I'll decide what colours I want to. I think I'm going to do the blue and the purple alternating around the edge here. Let's get some of this beautiful turquoise colour. Bit of water there. I do like this colour. You can see how when you work on the black, the colours just look really vibrant. And this one over here. And you can do your edges however you like. You can leave them black. I might try a couple of them with some gold. I'll show you what that looks like. If you do get some in there, you can just get your fingernail and wipe it out. Or something that you might have, a little pokey tool or something. A toothpick maybe. So I'm just going to go ahead and paint them. I'm going to add in a little bit of this reddish colour, I think. Pinky red. And I think I will do one of these with red. Or this pinkish colour. Got a little bit of water. If it doesn't go on thick enough, you can just add a little bit more to the tip of your brush and just dot it on there. You can see how pretty that looks with the black in between. I just really like that. And when these are glazed, or you can either glaze or however you finish off your clay, I'm using epoxy resin because I just like it. Those colours will come up even a bit more vibrant, so it's really nice. Now this one, might do the same, or I might actually do the turquoise. I'm just doing a few different ones. These are going to be for bracelets, and I'll show you what they will look like when they're done. I'll come back in a couple of days and after the resin has dried, and I'll show you how I'm going to make the bracelets. There we go, we've got our, I've got some in there. Another one. And I think they're still going to need another coat. That yellow is still not vibrant enough for me. Now the purple one, I'm going to do yellow in between. And I think we will do I really like that bright pink with the yellow there. And I haven't blue with the purple. Let's do that one. So you need a fairly thick glob on the end of your brush. Makes it a lot easier to apply it thickly, like a dot on the end of your brush. And there. Pretty. So I'm going to go ahead and do all of these, and then I will come back. Okay, so I've finished painting them now, and they just need to dry. But you can see how beautiful and vibrant the colours come up when you have added your, when you've done 2 coats. They're really sweet. And of course mine are, you know, they might look a little bit uneven because mine are handmade. I've, you know, molded them all by hand. I haven't got a mold. I didn't use a mold or anything like that. I just did it all by hand. which I think is the beauty of handmade. Now, I was just looking for my water spray bottle because I just wanted to show you a tip on storing acrylic paint like this. This has been a couple of weeks, so it has gone hard. But if you want to keep it soft, spray it with a little bit of water and then cover it in cling wrap. And I'll do that after because I can't find my water. Oh, there it is. So that's all I'm going to do is I'm going to, and it should last a few days if you do this, and you're not wasting your paint. So I'll do that. Oops, sorry, I just hit the camera. So that's just a little tip for storing acrylic paint. And so now I need to dry my little beads, and then I will resin them. Not sure if I'll do that. No, I won't do that on camera today. But in another video, I will make these from scratch, show you how I did them, and then we'll paint them, we will resin them, and then make the completed bracelet. But I just thought in this video I'd show you how I was painting on the terracotta clay. So I hope that you were inspired to make something, and thanks very much for joining me. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.